Hello and welcome. Today's video is going to be about us getting the sheep sheared in readiness for the heat of the summer and to lessen the likelihood of fly strike. Fly strike is a horrible thing that sheep can get. It's where the flies will lay eggs into the fleece and then the eggs will hatch. The maggots will actually burrow into the sheep and can start to eat them, consume them from the inside. It's a horrible thing. So shearing the sheep helps to keep the heat off them, also helps to keep them clean and stops the flies looking for an attractive place to lay their eggs. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I have heard it said that when the elderflower is out, the lanolin has risen. It's time to shear. Warmer weather means the lanolin has risen above the skin and into the fleece, making it easier for the shear to glide. We've only got 4. We used to have quite a lot, a reasonable, I say a lot, not compared to these farmers, but for a small holder we used to have a small flock, and that was always good fun. You still have to go through the same rigmarole, only for a handful of sheep. You still have to catch them up and so on, and get the shearer here. The shearer should be here shortly, and we're going to be driving up to where they are in their field shelter. The goat's here with them at the moment, but we'll obviously let the goat out when he's here, and he'll get hooked up to his car battery, and we'll start to shear when he's ready. So we're going to be doing that today. Hopefully you find it of interest. I always enjoy the occasion, even though it's only for a few nowadays. Hopefully the sheep are still penned in. I penned them in about half hour ago. I haven't been back up to check, but hopefully they're still penned in, along with the goat. But so we will let the goat out. Dan is a very experienced sheep shearer. I think in his day he used to do many hundreds, maybe thousands, but nowadays he just goes around and helps a few smallholders out. When he gets prepared, he'll get his the shearing machine, the clippers, he'll get them attached, hung up on one of the beams in the field shelter. He'll get that attached, the electrics attached to his car battery. He'll put down a kind of a marine ply board or a plywood board on the ground. The shearer will wear moccasins on his feet. This helps to absorb the sweat as he's working, because it can be a hot environment, but it also gives him a very good grip on wood, and he'll put down a wooden type flooring from which to work on and which to sit the sheep on as he's working. So they're moccasins, and gives him a good grip and absorbs the sweat in, say, a hot and sticky, sweaty environment when he's shearing the sheep. Our sheep, being smallholder sheep and not being reared for meat or anything of that nature, they do tend to carry a little bit more weight than they should. So again, that can always be a bit more of a challenge for the shearer, because they do have a fair bit of weight to them sometimes. We do let them just get on with it, really, so it can present sometimes a bit of a challenge for the shearer, but Dan's got it under control. And to watch him shear is a piece of art in itself, really. There is a kind of dance, or a kind of pattern that they go through. I've tried it in the past myself, and it's not a dance I can do very well at all. But Dan seems to have it off to the tee, and he does many. So when I used to have a go at it, I could do maybe one, and in that time I've done one, Dan will probably have done 4 or 5, if not more. The sheep we have now are all very young. We have 2, my guess would be between 7 and 8, round about that, maybe a little bit more. And then we have another 2 that are approaching the 15 or 16 years of age. I can't remember which. So when we used to have quite a few, and we always get to maybe the last couple, Dan would always want to know what they were like, if they were quite calm, or they were going to, maybe one was left on his own that would try and jump out. So what we'd always do, the last couple of sheep that have been sheared, we'd always put them back in the pen along with the last one, and once that was sheared we would then let them all out, and it would just help to keep the sheep a little bit calmer. They weren't on their own. But nowadays they're all very old. They all know the score. So what we tend to do is just to shear them and let them out as they're sheared. We don't do a lot with the fleeces. The fleeces aren't really worth anything. I think it costs you more to get them carried or posted to wherever they have to go to nowadays. So we just pile them outside of their paddock and just let the wildlife have them. The birds will take some for the nests, I guess, to line the nests. And underneath, if you lift it up, and I have done in the past, let's have a quick sneaky look. There's usually a family of voles, because obviously the fleece will give them quite a waterproofed bedding to nest under.
Day shearing to do, I'll drop my shearing I look up the spot.
Apparently Dan sheared 130 the day before, his first shearing of the season, and is feeling somewhat stiff today. The thing to notice here while Dan is shearing is also how he uses his feet to keep the sheep from being able to use two legs to get a purchase from which to get up and leave. Dan uses his spare hand to keep the skin tight. This helps to deliver a smoother blow, a blow being a single sweep of cut fleece. I reckon you should always be able to do a sheep or shear a sheep in no more than 36 blows, but I guess that will depend on breed and condition. Keeping the skin tight is a bit like us shaving. We try to keep our skin tight in order to avoid any nicks. That's the same for the sheep. When finished, Dan will be shearing a few more not far from here. And as the couple on the flock are in their 90s, I'm going to help with getting the sheep in and out of the pen. So I'm just letting the owners know that we've only got a couple more to do and we won't be long before we join them. Yeah, hi Dennis, we're on the last couple. Okay, alright, see you soon. Bye. That's the last one, known affectionately as Limpy. He's pushing 16 and as stiff as a board nowadays, bless him. Some days though, I know how he feels. When I mucked out the sheep and goat field shelter for the last time until winter recently, I mentioned I had noticed a pair of swallows flying in and out. There were 3 old swallow nests in the shelter and wondered if they would rebuild and clean one of them to use this breeding season. Well, they have. This one, the middle one. We look forward to monitoring their breeding attempts, hopefully successful breeding attempts, during the coming month or two. And we will give an update later in the summer. Dan and I are now going to the smallholders not far away. They have a small flock of rare breed sheep called Castle Milk Morit, and they are an absolute handful. That's the sheep, not the people. For some reason they scatter rather than flock, so keeping them in the pen is paramount. The couple are lovely people who we have known for over 25 years, and it is always good to catch up with them. Their flock, not so much. We hope you enjoyed this video. Take care. Bye for now.